All right, now we're going to have a look at the documents suggested by the government and those ones used at Santander School. So, first, let's talk about lineamientos curriculares. So, according to the man, el aprender haciendo cobra especial importancia dentro de esta metodología. Igualmente importante es la relación estrecha que se establece entre la clase de lengua y las demás áreas, hasta el punto en que el aprendizaje y la enseñanza no se presentan únicamente en lecciones individuales para áreas o asignaturas diferentes, sino que se integran en temas que se desarrollan de manera activa, generalmente a través de actividades, tareas y proyectos de investigación llevados a cabo por los estudiantes. Regarding Santander School, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to read it. Okay, I guess that you have already read it. So as you can see, the methodology at Santander School is also task-based, which is the same. We can say that they are following the suggested methodology um, by the Ministry of Education. So it's almost the same, right? But now we're going to jump into the suggested methodology. And here we're going to see that there are some things that they don't take into account, or the school just leaves behind. For example, a student's participation in the designing of materials and topics. Students do not participate in the designing of the materials. This is all in charge of the teacher. However, this is student centered because the activities are thought for the students, right? For the students' needs. And the topics um, they don't participate in the designing or the development of the topics of study either, because these topics are suggested by the National Ministry of Education. Student-centered methodology, as I said before, on the one hand, students do not participate on the development of the topics and the designing of the materials, but the activities are designed for the students. Research, they don't have any research in the classroom. Contextualization, yes, although there is something that caught our attention, and is that um, they do try to contextualize the contents to the Colombian context and the students' context so that they can relate, but they don't do this all of the time. I mean, is not something that is frequently done. So it is done, but it is partially done. But we are going to say that yes, they do it. Um, Cooperative learning and teamwork. Yes, all the activities or most of the activities are carried out in groups. So yes, they use a lot of cooperative learning. Um, Students compromise in tasks, planning, and execution. As I mentioned before, students do not participate in the planning of the task, nor they participate in the execution of this task. They just carry out the task, but the one who executes the task is the teacher. Mhm. Formative and summative assessment, they use both kinds of assessment, so yeah, they definitely have it. Interdisciplinary methodology, this is partially true because in primary school English is not linked to another subject, but in upper grades it is. So we can say that from 8th grade up, the learning of the language is interdisciplinary, but in primary school it is not. And integral learning, this is also partially true. They don't put into practice all language skills, so we cannot say that is 100% true. Now we're going to look at the basic learning rights. So according to the Ministry of Education, the basic learning rights for the fourth period, because that was the term that we worked, it says expreso ideas sencillas y sobre temas estudiados, comprende la secuencia de una historia corta, intercambia información personal como su nombre, menciona aspectos culturales propios en su entorno. This is true. Sorry, this is true because as you can see, I'm gonna zoom in. As you can see here, uh, the basic learning rights from Santander School and those ones suggested by the government are the same. So they use the same basic learning rights for the fourth term. Okay, now, oh my gosh, sorry. Now we're going to look at Guía 22. So this is like the suggested curriculum for English teaching. And here we have escucha, lectura. We have here some skills that the students are supposed to accomplish. And here we have escritura, monólogo, and conversación. So students should learn, for example, in writing, they have to comprehend words in English. Regarding monologues, they have to be able to mention what they like and what they don't like. And conversation, they have to be able to reply to greetings and farewells, as well as use language or non-verbal language when they cannot respond to these requests. And here we have like at Santander School, they use like the same. They have lectura, escritura, escucha, monólogo, and conversation. But as you can see here, we have a lot of items, right? The school summarizes the items in just one. They take only one item or two items, so they don't take into account all items suggested by the ministry. Now the suggested contents. So we can see that for the fourth term, the contents are basically the same. However, here we notice that the contents were not being applied as suggested by the government. For example, in the fourth term, they were studying greetings and farewells and days of the week and stuff like that. But those topics, sorry, did not belong to the fourth term. They belonged to the first term. So it was messy and disorganized somehow because the students were supposed to be studying these topics that you can see here and these functions of language, but they were not doing so. Now the indicadores de desempeño. So saber, saber hacer, saber ser, saber aprender. So here we have some items. I'm gonna read just one per category. So saber, I'm gonna zoom. It says, identifica palabras en inglés relacionadas con actividades culturales, celebraciones y tradiciones. Right? As I said before, the students were not studying traditions or international cultures as they were supposed to be doing in the fourth term. So students were not able to do that. So I guess that it was a little bit hard to know what was their performance since they were studying a very different topic from the topics that they were supposed to study. However, as we can see here, Again, we have several items in the indicadores de desempeño, but the school only takes into account one or two items. But we can say that these items are almost the same. And that's it for the documents.